Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Serene Pod with myself, Mark, and
Selin.
We are here today to have a fantastic conversation. We've had a lot of fantastic conversations. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot for us to speak about. There's some questions for us to answer, for you guys to not only get to know us more, but get some insight in our thoughts around different topics. Obviously, we got to do our update and mention the things that have happened the last week or few weeks that we haven't seen each other. So, Selin, I'll let you go first. Any updates?
Updates. I'm feeling like I'm ready for a break.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say something crazy.
I don't know if a break is crazy.
No,
okay.
A break, yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to really feel like burnout is close and I'm trying to listen to my body. So it feels like work can be quite stressful at times and sessions can be quite heavy at times. And even though I'm still doing my self-care and my yoga and meditation, there is still points where I'm like, oh no, like I actually need to switch off altogether, like completely switch off. So I'm looking forward to the Christmas break. But also I know the Christmas period, usually there's heavy sessions around that because that's a difficult time as well.
Yeah.
But I've decided that I am going to go away in January.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Probably when the schools reopen because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Somewhere hot. Haven't decided really where yet. But January will be like my time to just have a few days off and go away for a week or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really trying to tune in with my body. And also, I don't know if you've been listening to this. Have you listened to Dave's new album?
Of course.
So I've been listening to that and I'm absolutely obsessed with
Fantastic
it.
album.
I love him anyway. I'm a really big fan of him. And my favourite was Psychodrama, and I don't feel like I need to say why because it's Psychodrama.
Yeah.
But this is up there for me with Psychodrama, and I feel like he's got a way to articulate himself like he's explaining a whole movie of his life.
Yeah.
So I can visualize his story and what he's saying, and it's so real and raw, and I love that about him. He shows his vulnerability in his albums, and I love that about him, that he doesn't shy away from any topic and his struggles. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that. It's taking me right on a journey with him in the album. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dope.
How have you been?
I've been okay. It's been a busy few weeks. I think similar to you, I'm definitely approaching, or might be, at burnout.
Ooh, okay.
But it's if I'm honest, what is really bad. Basically, so if I'm to be very honest, last year was a very interesting year. There was so much going on and there were so many things that at a point or period of time last year, everything kind of stopped and nothing was really happening. And so I think I've got some kind of like, not PTSD, but trauma around that. Okay. So coming to this year, I've basically said yes to most things.
Right.
And so now I feel like I'm drowning in the amount of things I've said yes to. And not only that, I don't seem to be able to stop saying yes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep saying yes. And every time someone asks me something, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, fine, let's do it. Hey, you know, and it's like a good thing because it means I'm active and I'm around and I'm doing a lot. But it also feels like maybe I'm doing too much. And I think this week has been the real, like, realization of like, oh, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. So I've got a couple of weeks of quite heavy commitments where there's like no space in days. It's just busy. But I think once that's over, I have to stop. I have to. I don't think I have a choice. Because I just think reality-wise, it's a lot. And like even now, my son's ill with a cold or whatever's going around. I feel like I'm at the beginning of that. My throat hurts even now talking. And I'm like, I can't even be ill. I've got 101 things to do.
Yeah.
There's no way I can be ill. So I feel like it's a it's a weird pressure that I feel like I've put on myself also for no reason, because a lot of the stuff I could have said no, but I don't know what's wrong with me. It's hard to explain. I have no clue why. Something about things not happening last year has made me like, I have to do everything, you know. And then the other thing, other than that, like I've just been in the studio a lot, which is interesting. I'm usually not. But with this new deal that I've signed and this company that I'm working with, they have studios, they have a studio available. So I'm like, okay, I'll use it. So been in the studio, which is really cool, and creating. And yeah, man, just living, loving life, enjoying like teaching music, which is really amazing. It's so interesting because every day I ask myself, would I do it? Because I'm in a position where I could leave, but I'm like, I would do it for free. Like I love teaching, you know, music business and having the conversations with them young people. So yeah, it's been an interesting few weeks, a lot of like thinking about everything that's going on and weighing up like, okay, have I committed to too much at this point?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've definitely committed to too much, but hey.
That's interesting because when I was training to be a drama therapist, we had a whole module about saying no. Because as children, we're not really taught to say no. When a toddler says no to things, as parents, we're like, no, you can't just stamp your feet and say no to it. We have to go to this place, or you have to eat this thing. And then they're actually trained to say yes to stuff. So then the no goes out the window.
Yeah.
And I watched a great video on socials the other day of Gabba Mate. He's amazing. He talks about mental health and anxiety and depression and ADHD. And there was a video about him talking about saying no. I'll send it to you. Yeah, okay. I'll send it to you. And I think it's just about rewiring our brains about how do we say no, and it's okay.
It's weird because I think before last year, I was always saying no. I'll say no to people would ask for stuff or ask, could I do this, that? No, I don't have the time. It's not going to make sense. But I think I was living such a fairy tale life in a sense of like, it was, you know, it was just this life where people paid me to just be myself. And so it was like very fairy tale. So when things stopped, like being so busy and coming in the same way, it definitely made me think, oh my gosh, what if this happens again? And what if everything stops one day? And so that's definitely made me go, oh, you know. But I think it's definitely like a trauma response. Yeah. To be like, yes to everything. I think it's bad. I got to stop. 100% I got to stop. So I think I've realised it. So now I'm working on saying no.
Okay.
Because I should at this point. Yeah. Like someone invited me to an event on Friday. Very, very popular artist was having some kind of show. It was like, they really want me to come down. And I said, no. Someone else had an event 2 days before that on a Wednesday that we had gotten this like amazing VIP access, and they invited us personally. And again, I said no. So I'm there mentally where I'm like, I have to start saying no. Yeah. But yes, so today, our wonderful Theo, who is obviously behind the camera.
Hello.
But always got some great questions for us. Hopefully he's going to deliver some questions and we're going to answer this. Obviously, we don't know the questions.
No, don't know.
So we're staying very open and honest, as we always do. So yeah, Theo, fire away.
All right, first question. What is the best thing about the place you live?
Oh,
that's an interesting question.
I can answer that easy.
Go on.
So, it's safe. It's so safe. So I grew up in Hackney and I moved to Enfield and then moved to where I live now, right? And I literally saw a video about this morning that like most people do not know what these areas were like when we were growing up. Yeah. These places were war zones. They weren't places. There was roads you didn't go to at night, during the day, you just
Yeah.
don't step foot in those areas because you were told these are bad places. And I think growing up that way has made me very, what's the word? Very used to traumatic events, very used to noise, danger, you know. I remember being in Enfield, the last thing that happened to me before I moved, I was in Enfield and I was talking to my now wife, but my girlfriend at the time, who was at the car. We were standing at the bus stop. She was about to go home. I'm a couple, meters away from my house, and some students that I work with come sprinting down the road, the main road, the high street. So I'm thinking, what's going on? And they're kind of laughing, but they're sprinting like, yo, Mark, hey, help us. He's trying to get us. I'm thinking, what's going on? So then this guy comes in. He's like a big guy, really tall. I don't know if he was Greek or...
Okay.
But like, he's got a shirt buttoned up to the top and he's in shorts and shoes.
All right.
And he's talking about, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
No.
And then because they ran to me, he's now left them and come to me.
Ooh.
And now he's kind of following me around my girlfriend at the time's car, talking about, I'm going to kill you. Oh, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. And as that happens, someone's come and then the police has come and grabbed him.
Okay.
So I remember thinking, what?
Yeah.
What is going on? I don't even know how I got in this and how this became a problem. But where I live, none of that. There is no concern for those things. And it's why we moved there, really, because I think both me and my wife had seen so much madness that we wanted to go somewhere that was safe, that was quiet, that was lovely. I go for walks in the morning. I see the grass, you know what I mean? People jog past me, you all right? Good morning,
Yeah.
you all right?
Yeah.
It's nice, it's quiet. I would say the only thing is there is not much community, so all these places, Hackney, all of that, there was a lot of community.
Yeah.
Because we all lived in kind of a bad situation, so it bands people together. But now there's not much community at all.
I would say, safe for me as well. Yeah, that is the thing that is the reason why I picked where I'm living now, is because it is safe, and I moved out on my own first. So I wanted it to be safe.
Yeah, of course.
As a female, I wanted to feel safe in my home, and I didn't want to feel like on edge. And I grew up in Edmonton, and there was a lot going on all the time. And there's good things and bad things about that, because it's definitely made me streetwise, and I'm very alert of my surroundings all the time.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing, especially when you're in London and you're walking around. It's good to be aware of your surroundings. But also, I didn't feel safe. Like, I just didn't feel safe at any point. I just did not feel safe. You know that it could kick off at any point. Something is going to happen, and you've got to be prepared to run or do whatever you need to do. You know who's living down there, so you can go to that house. So I don't feel like that now, which is good. I feel safe, but the only thing for me as well, there isn't anything going on in where I'm living. So it feels like I'm living a retired lifestyle without being old and retired.
Yeah.
So, me and my partner are thinking about moving.
Same,
and try to have a better balance.
Same.
And there's bits of West London that I like, so we're looking at West London.
Oh, wow.
There's bits of Southwest that I like, so we're looking at Southwest.
You should come to where we're at. It's
Really?
nice. It's still Londonish.
But are you retired?
So the area I live now is all like retired people, older people. But you can kind of come in woods, and it's still just as nice, just as safe.
Okay.
But more like normal and multicultural and young. And
that's what I need.
So that's what we're doing now. We're literally looking now to move in, because I think, we're literally the station that's closest to my house is the least used station on the underground, on the London Underground. Yes, the least
crazy.
used.
Because retired people, they don't
really get trained that much.
No, they get on the free bus.
So literally it's one train every hour. If you imagine an underground train, one an hour. It's like no one uses the train.
That's crazy.
But it's nice, it's quiet, it's lovely, I love it.
Yeah, but
all the guys live there.
I don't want to retire too early.
That's
yeah,
what
I don't
I've
want to retire too
realised.
early. So yeah, moving is coming for both of us.
So it feels like then, because of the almost like traumatic places we've lived, we then went to the other extreme.
Yeah.
And now we have to find balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you hear how my son talks, he needs to live more in.
Yeah.
Dad, like he talks like an Essex kid.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, we need to move in.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
There's something about London as well that you can't teach unless you live there. So I want to be in a London borough, but a safe London borough.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
For me, it's hard to say what a great lesson from a difficult experience. The lesson I've learned the most is be grateful for your problems. I know that sounds crazy. But over the years, I've experienced some things that have been hard, and life has always shown me that it could be way worse, you know? And that's not to trivialize anybody's situation that is worse. But I think that reality, you know, we lost someone really close to us in our family a couple years ago. And it's been really tough. But I remember having a conversation with somebody that I worked with years ago. And in about a 3-month period, they lost their mother, their father, and their grandma or auntie within 3 months.
That's a lot.
And I just think to myself, I remember thinking to myself, at the time I didn't understand it because I had never lost that many people or that many people close to me anyway. And still I've never lost anyone that close. Well, I lost my grandma, but you know, I can't imagine what they experienced. But I think over time I've learned that, that problem that you're complaining about is nothing. Like, you know, most times there's someone else wishing for that problem. Sometimes me and my wife, we talk about where we live and we're like, oh, you know, the space, you know, we might need bigger space or, oh, I'm so annoyed. I've got a keyboard here and a, MPC here and a space. Like, oh, I'll move this stuff. Like, we need more space. And I'm always like, I used to be very like, oh, yeah, man, I have space. But now I'm like, just be grateful. You know, when I remember doing a sleep out for charity years ago, and we were talking to homeless people for the whole night because we had to sleep out the whole night. And we had some conversations that were just so impactful. And I remember one person saying to me that, you know, some of his friends, they commit crimes so that they could be arrested and sleep in a cell because that is enough. And so I'm like, and I'm complaining about space. That's so. I think my thing, or the lesson I've learned, the biggest lesson I've learned over the last few years, and in all the difficult situations, has been be grateful for your problems because your problems could be much bigger than you think they are.
Definitely.
You know, but the fact that you're breathing, blinking, alive, you're doing okay. Just that, you know. So that's my answer, I guess.
It's Men's Mental Health Month.
It is.
At the moment. So I thought I'd just start off with, do we think that men generally are more open about mental health than they used to be? Like, how do we feel about the climate of conversation in this topic?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I do think men are way more open. I think a lot more men are speaking, and, you know, I remember watching a video of, you know, when they stop people in the street. And, and I remember they asked some young guy, like, oh, do you say I love you to your boys? And the boy was like, yeah. It was like, could you call your friends right now and tell you love them? He was like, yeah, come. And he called, yo, what you saying, bro? You good? You know, I love you. I just wanted to call you to say I love you. And the guy was like, yeah, I love you too, my boy. And that's it. And I think that wasn't the way it was years ago, of course. And I think it's beautiful to see men develop and grow in having more openness, more accountability, more support for each other, more of an understanding. I know a lot of men that are in like units. I know a lot of men clubs, you know, of guys that just meet up and sit down and talk and spend time talking about how they're feeling and what's going on. And I think it's really important because, you know, male suicide is rampant, especially in this country. And I think it is something that is easy to miss, especially for me as someone who, you know, from a public standpoint, names himself happy or whatever, and is usually bringing some kind of light, joy, fun. You know, it's easy to feel like you're not allowed to be or say how you're truly feeling behind closed doors. And so that's why for me, I'm always trying to be open and vulnerable and honest, because I think men need it. And I think I really appreciate that men are more open. I think the podcast space has really helped.
Definitely.
Because I feel like the podcast space has given men a place to talk and just say how they feel. And yes, some of it is not great when it's terrible, but I think some of it is really positive. And, you know, I've probably seen more men cry on podcasts than I've seen men cry my whole life. You know, so I'm enjoying it as a guy. I'm enjoying seeing it and us growing in that way. What do you think, Selin?
I think that men are being more open now to therapy and sharing how they're truly feeling and being vulnerable, but men's suicide rates in the UK are still the highest. So I think there's still work to be done.
100%.
And like when I checked in at the beginning of this episode, I mentioned Dave, and I think when artists come forward and they share about their struggles and their mental health struggles, I think that encourages other generations and younger generations, young males, to share how they're feeling as well. And that psychodrama album, I share that album in my sessions with my young boys frequently, because I want to share that it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. Yeah. It's okay. And this is the safe space to explore it. So I'm not saying that I don't like working with the girls, but I absolutely love working with young boys because I know the need that they have to have that safe space. Yeah. And there's other artists like Conan, he's come out sharing about his struggles, losing his stepdad and things. And like, that's really helpful when big artists come forward and share their struggles. And I really encourage that. And there was a young boy that I watched on TikTok the other day. Someone was like interviewing him in the street, and he was saying that he's recently lost his mum and he doesn't know how to deal with it. But he's got this business, but he can't like focus on the business. He would love to do therapy, but he doesn't know where to go.
That was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, really? I messaged him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, big up.
We'll talk about it after.
Cool.
Yeah, I messaged him because that really hit me. Like, I've also lost someone, and I know how painful that can be, but not knowing where to go for help. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be me, by the way. Like, I didn't message him like, hey, I'm a drama therapist, like, book a session. I didn't message him like that. I just messaged him like, these are the places you can go. But I made the mistake, and I totally forgot that you can only send one message to the person unless they're following you back or something like that. So I messaged hi, sent it, and then I was like, oh man, I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say. I just wanted to give him the options of where to go to find what he needs if he needs to. And I follow like lots of spaces on Insta where it's like for men's yoga, men's creative spaces, men's therapy groups, and I follow them because I love to encourage that. And like I know I always check on like my male friends and my partner all the time. Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? There's this going on if you want to go here. There's this men's group if you want to go here. So I feel like having more open conversations is really useful, and facing it, not shying away from it. We are human, so we're going to feel these things, and it's okay. I found also the male guests we have on the pod have been quite vulnerable. Yeah. And I'm really appreciating that they're finding the space safe to share and be vulnerable. And hopefully the male people that are watching our pod can relate and know where they can go if they want to find any support or anything. So,
I think it's really important, because I think like even with the male guests that come on the pod, if you notice, most of them like in the conversation or after the conversation, I'll try and like tell them like, I think you're a great guy.
Yeah.
Like encourage them, because even just that, for most men, that isn't a normal thing.
Yeah.
I remember, I'll tell you this story. This is a very vulnerable story to tell. Years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but I was working with this guy. Oh no, Andre. You know Andre.
Oh, I know him. It's a
Andre,
small world.
speak up on Andre. So,
Yeah.
me and Andre, we worked here for years anyway, but he was working a lot closer with me. I think it's like 2018 or so. I think he was like managing me. We were doing lots of stuff,
Okay.
right? Me and Andre were figuring stuff out. And we were talking about singles and releases, and Andre said to me, there was one day that we were like trying to plan stuff and organize stuff, and Andre called me and he said to me, bro, like, why don't you ever just show your personality? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And he was like, you know what, bro, I just feel like the music is great, your talent's great, but that's always what you put forward. And I think deep down, you're such a beautiful person. And when I say this, it's probably one of the most impactful things someone has ever said to me in my life. He said, look, bro, honestly, I think you're such a beautiful... And the fact they didn't say you're a cool guy, he was like, I think you're such a beautiful person and you should show the world that. And I was like, oh, thank you, bro, yeah. And I came off the phone and I bawled like a child. I cried my eyes out because I was just like... It didn't come from a weird place. Like, it felt so genuine. And, so I find that encouraging men, sometimes they do really need it. And not encouraging like, oh, you're a great guy because of the things you do. Or because a lot of men, they find their value in what they can do, what they can provide and give. But actually, no, you're just an awesome human being, just as you are. And so, yeah, man, I think it's such a important thing, and I appreciate that you care enough to try. Because a lot of people say, oh, no, men are this, men are that, men are trash, da-da-da, you know what I mean? And push men to the side in that way. But, you know, it's really helpful to have women that are also advocates of men in that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had one... I've got lots of young males that I work with, but I had one that's stuck with me. Like, he used to come to session and just share how much he was struggling mentally and dark thoughts and lots going on in his mind. And he's like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I've got nowhere to go. I don't know how to deal with it. So I just drink. I take drugs, and then it kind of just quietens it down. I'm like, okay. I understand that, and that's okay. Like, I get it, it's difficult. But this is the space for you to bring it. So that was great, because it was a space for him to first of all feel heard. And that's, I think everyone needs that. A space to feel heard, a space to feel safe, and also a space to explore. And yeah, we worked on it multiple times. He had a lot of sessions with me, but we worked on it creatively. And he was like, oh, do you know, like, if I have a thought now, it doesn't stop me from doing my day-to-day. Like, I can still deal with my day-to-day. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to numb this. I need to just turn the volume down on it. No, it's okay for it to be there, and I can still exist. And I was like, exactly, you can. It's just viewing it from the outside. And like, there's a lot of Buddhist practices with meditation that also help with those thoughts and stuff that I incorporate in my sessions. And even like my male friends that are struggling as well at times, I tell them like, try this out or try that out. Or sometimes you're not even ready to try out, but I'm just here to listen. And sometimes that's enough. Yeah, so I'm very conscious about it. And I feel like the conversations need to happen more. Like, I feel like conversations need to happen more in spaces. Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah, that's a really good question, Theo.
Some great answers.
Thanks, man.
Leading on, what might be some of the reasons that men won't talk about their mental health?
Oh, man. I think environments are often... We're in a better place now, but there was usually no environment for a man to say anything. You get called weak, you're told to suck it up, you're told to...
Man up,
you know. That becomes the norm. I remember talking to a young girl that's like a little sister to me. And she was dating this guy, and she really liked this guy. But she said to me that every time he comes over, they sit down, he falls asleep. He just falls asleep. He sleeps, and he would sleep for hours. And I was like, oh, why is that? Like, why do you think that is? And she was like, it's just there's so much going on in his house. And I was like, so basically he feels safe at yours. She's like, yeah, but that's the only time we spend with that, you know. But I'm like, you have to understand how much you must be experiencing at home.
Yeah.
That he comes to you and he just falls asleep. Like, there's a level of safety he has where you are, that he feels comfortable enough to do so. And I know what that feels like, you know, and so, but oftentimes, yeah, just similar to what she was saying, it's almost like people don't necessarily understand it. And we're not necessarily always encouraged to say anything, you know. You be quiet, don't say that, you know, don't say this or that. And I mean, I have some very interesting experiences and convos that I've had, even just about the disparity between how it is treated, you know, between the genders, right? Like, you know, there's a guy that I know that was, you know, physically assaulted by a lady, or a young woman. And when the police got involved, I believe they came into a house where they both lived, and they saw a picture of the young woman and said, oh, she's so pretty. Like, wow, like, oh, so sad.
No.
And I thought to myself, you wouldn't see a man that abused a woman physically and go, oh, what a handsome guy.
No.
That's crazy.
No,
She goes,
no.
but it's just there's such a disparity when it comes to trying to understand the male perspective when it comes to mental health and safety. And, you know, you say too much and everybody says you're soft and you're weak and you're, you know. So it's a real tough environment that has been created. And I think that's why men don't talk, but I think the beauty is men are creating spaces often where other men can speak, and I think that helps because it almost it's like men are leading the charge, which allows other men to go, oh, if you can do it, I can do it too. So I think that's what's helping. But yeah, I think the reason why is that there just wasn't always a space to say anything. You know, a lot of us, especially a lot of the guys I know from the background I'm from, didn't even have dads, you know, didn't grow up with anyone to ask questions with. I remember when I was getting married, it was very hard, you know, to go through that process with no father. I don't know what to do. I don't know how this is supposed to work. Where do I get a suit from? You know, like I don't have these, you know, where it's like I want to ask the question, but then in the same way, someone's telling you, come on, man, figure it out yourself, you know. That puts value on you because you're a man, you don't ask questions, you just do, you know. It's like, actually, what if I really want to just ask questions and curl up and be a kid again and you know. So I think, yeah, we didn't really have the spaces. I think we have more spaces now, but we defo didn't have the spaces for a long time. I also feel like a lot of the assumption is you hit maybe 16 or 18 and you're a man now. You figured it out.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, like the video of Tom, like there's a lot of us older men, you know, who are still young, but older in terms of older than being 18, 16, whatever, teenagers, that are still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And still need some level of leadership, some guidance, some healing. I feel like some people even have replaced the idea of actually getting healing with the idea of just making it out and surviving.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, because I survived a mad lifestyle, I must be good. But actually, you come with so much trauma from that lifestyle you don't realise. And that's one thing for me, like, because nobody checks if you're okay if you're doing well.
Yeah.
It's like, you're 25, you're doing all right. You must be good. You must be fine. All the things that happened to you 10 years ago must not play on your mind ever.
Yeah.
You're good. And it's like, actually, men always need the checkup. Men always need the guidance. Men always need the help, the how are you? Is everything okay? I think it's constant, no matter what age.
It's the assumption.
The assumption,
Yeah,
100%.
just like seeing the outside and think, oh, they're posting on Insta.
Yeah, they're
they're
fine.
going on holiday. Oh, they're all right. There's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. But actually, when was the last time you picked up a phone and called your brother or your cousin or your friend and said, are you actually okay?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on for you? Like, are you actually okay? And maybe this is a great reminder for everyone to do that. But I'm very conscious of it. So I will speak to my male friends every week, without a doubt. Every week. My female ones as well, but every week I'm checking on. And actually, I'm not taking, I'm fine for an answer. That's not good enough for me. I want to know actually what is going on for you. So, it's just a reminder for everyone to check on their loved ones, really.
Yeah.
What is the importance of like having a time for a group, you know, like for men? So we've got Men's Mental Health Month this time. It's not like we're excluding other gender or of course.
Yeah.
But like, what is the importance of having a time to like give a bit more light on a group of people?
I think the importance is because you have to make sure everybody is heard, and I think everybody deserves the chance to be heard. And at some points, it's almost like we you know, when we talk about relationships, we look at like love tanks, right? It's like you might be full, but your partner might be slightly, you know, and so you now have to share a bit of that love, a bit of that. Do you know what I mean? And I think first, it's just being able to do the audit of like every year. At some point, it's good to check in with that person, that type of person, that, do you know what I mean? And be able to say, are you okay? Or, you know, just in case we haven't said it all year. And so I think especially for men where it is kind of assumed and ignored that men are just fine, it's good to have that dedicated time to go, all right, men, are you... Like, even this conversation is making me ask myself, like, am I all right? And then in my head, I'm like, no. But I'm like, that's, because that's, I feel like that's the men's mindset. Like, I might have asked myself if I'm all right in February and probably said no anyway. And was like, all right, anyway, keep it moving. Because that's the mindset. You just kind of keep it moving. It is what it is. Who cares, you know? So I think these times are good because it makes you go, okay, no, but what can we do about it?
Yeah.
Let's actually think about it. Let's actually talk about it. So I think,
Yeah, I feel like it's important. There was this program that I was running in Essex, and it was like for young boys that were on edge of exclusion, and then they would come do drama therapy, they would do boxing, and then we'd explore. The main thing was mental health we were exploring. And probably 90% of those boys were telling me mentally they're struggling. That is why they're acting up in school. Yeah. Something's going on at home. And there was a really good video that I used to show them. It's actually called Man Up, the video. And it's like lots of famous like artists, footballers that are talking about mental health. And I was showing them because I wanted them to see that it's okay. Yeah. To feel like that, and also there's others that feel like that, and to be open and honest with how they're feeling, so then I can support them as much as I can, or I can point them in the right direction. And I think having those spaces are really important, because otherwise they're just living in survival. Yeah. And that's not living. That's not living. Facts. You know? So I think it's really important to create those spaces. If that space doesn't exist, create it. And even for families as well. Like with my family, we are so open, and probably too open. Anything happens, every day I'm like, oh, this has happened. Or someone else is like, oh, this has happened. And there's always something going on in our family group chat. And if someone isn't used to it, they're like, whoa, you guys are a bit much. But that's just because as females, we are very emotional beings, and we're open to talking about, I'm feeling like this, or I need this for myself. And men aren't like that. So there needs to be spaces open like that for men as well. Yeah. And if you don't have that, you should create it.
100%. I agree. Yeah. I think I saw something recently, and this is kind of a tangent, but I saw a video 3 days ago, of a guy and his best friend, and his best friend was running a marathon. And so he made a video to tell his best friend how proud he was of him. Oh. And it was like an edited video, and it was beautiful. And he watched it with his best friend, and they cried together. And I remember thinking, huh? But I was saying to my wife, like, this is so beautiful, but it's so foreign to me, the idea. Like, what are we talking about? If my friend runs a marathon, I go, well done, innit? And keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? So it was so foreign. And But I was so sad that was the case, that it doesn't feel normal to show love to your best friend like that. It doesn't feel more normal for men to show each other love like that. It was so like, deep down, I was upset by it. Because I'm like, I wish that was how we were all, but it's like we've all been just built to be hard and cold to each other and emotionless. And I think that's such a tough, and that's why I'm grateful for music, because music allows me to express myself a lot more. But I think it's a tough precedent that we've set for men. And I hope that even this conversation reminds most men, you know, to do the work of opening up and talking about their mental health and thinking about their mental health.
Do you remember Mike from Love Island who committed suicide?
Yeah. That went to County.
Yeah. So there's lots of people that I know that knew him, and there was loads of people afterwards that were like, oh, wish I checked on him, or like, oh, I checked on him the day before, I didn't check on him that day. And like, you just don't know what someone is going through.
Facts.
And if you're not asking those questions and you're taking, yeah, I'm fine, for an answer, then sometimes it is too late.
Yeah, fact.
So you should just actually take the time, and it might take like a few minutes or it might take an hour, but make the time aside to check on your loved ones.
Yeah, that's yeah. I knew a lot of people that knew Mike. His name's Mike, right? Yeah, like a few guys that went to my school were really close. So I know one of my guys, another guy called Michael, does like a charity thing for him every year, and you know, so it's beautiful to see. But yeah, no, it's a real thing, and I think it's something that those that are listening should take serious. If they are, you know, if you are a guy, really do what you can to take care of your mental health. And checking on your guys if you know you're a girl that has a partner or whatever it is, and you know, try and check in on them, you know, and make sure they're good, and you know, because I think everybody needs it. You know, everybody needs to be heard and to be checked in on, and to be told that, you know, they're still loved and we're still here for you and we still care. I think that update sometimes is needed, because sometimes it's easy to forget who's there for you and that you actually have people around. Any takeaways from this episode?
Yes, my takeaways are a reminder to keep consistent with checking on loved ones, and also I'm so happy that this was the topic today. And yeah, if anyone is triggered by what we've said or have had any thoughts, then they can go on. Psychology Today is a great one. It's a directory of therapists, and you can pick through and filter through what type of therapist you would like. And BetterHelp is another one, great, so there's a few platforms that you can go on, and if you're not sure, you can always pop us a message and we'll reply on Insta or YouTube or whatever. So I think my takeaways are to stay consistent with checking. It shouldn't just be a one-off thing. I've checked on them, they're all right, I'll check on them 10 years time. So staying consistent and creating those spaces and checking on your loved ones.
My takeaway is more being grateful for those that do care and those that do check, because I think it is important. And sometimes you can feel like someone's just like around or bugging you, like, leave me alone, like, I'm fine. But actually it's really important to have people that will check. So I really appreciate all those that do check in and make sure, you know, that us as guys are still doing well and trying our best. Even today, like, me and Theo were talking about artists that, you know, he really likes and that I think is great, that I know really well. And I called him, and the first thing he said when he picked up the phone was, whoa, this is a nice surprise. Like, yo, how are you? And in my head, a part of me felt like, this shouldn't be a surprise. Like, this is actually my guy. And it's sad that actually I probably haven't spoken to him in like a year or two. So I'm like, oh, that's really bad. So I think it's a reminder to actually check in on people, man. Checking on the ones that you care about. And just those that you come across, and be kind to everybody because you don't know what they're going through. You really don't know.
Yeah.
So yes, guys, that is Serene Pod for today. Yeah, and like Selin said, there are great resources to help.
Yeah.
If any of these topics make you think and make you wonder about, really dealing with your mental health, and I would encourage you to do so. Thank you for watching this episode.
Yeah, thanks.